Hello, everybody. This is a different one. We have a live guest, and the crowd goes wild. welcome, welcome, everybody. I'm just excited. I'll let my guest tell us who she is.
Hello, everyone. I'm very, very happy to be here with you today. My name is Aleksandranaglik, and I am a personal stylist and image consultant. I work with executives, mostly female, but also male, and I help them establish a style and a wardrobe that makes them feel powerful, confident, and beautiful. But most importantly, that makes them achieve that without compromising on their authenticity.
Beautiful. People, let me tell you, when I knew I was coming to meet her today, my wardrobe, everything, all the clothes, I was wondering, what can I wear? It is so great to have you here. I had promised you guys that we are going to do something about personal style, and we have the professional to tell us about it in her own words.
Super happy to be here.
Perfect. So, the first thing we want to talk about is, why is looking good important?
Wow.
And not just you as a personal stylist. Why is it important?
It has, I would say that it's two aspects of looking good. And the first thing is the external image, so how others perceive us. So actually, we only have 7 seconds to let people establish what they think about us. So actually, before we even open our mouth, before we start to speak, people already frame an opinion about who we are. And nobody means really anything bad about it. This is just how we are. And there's been a lot of studies confirming that. So it's nothing to sort of like work against. It's more like, let's just follow the rules. Let's just follow the science, and let's just follow how we as humans are built.
Okay.
However, I do believe that the most important effect of looking good is internal.
Ooh.
How we feel internally, how we feel inside us. Because every time we put an outfit that makes us feel like the best, most empowered versions of ourselves, we start radiating on the frequency of that person. We feel like the sky is the only limit. We see opportunities rising everywhere. And with that said, I'm a huge advocate for keeping all this very authentic to us and making it true to us. Everybody can look good. You can always look good. And it's all about finding the style, finding the true expression of yourself. And this is something that I focus my work on, and something that I am deeply, deeply passionate about.
No, really good. You've said something that I want us to dive in a little bit on, because I love this topic. It's something we've touched on here before. You've said that once you look good, it helps you radiate at the frequency of the higher version of yourself, or at the frequency of the person that you're aspiring to look at within you.
Yeah,
I find that so beautiful and so true. Do you have a couple of more points to add on that?
Oh, points. Immediately when you ask now, my clients come to my attention. Honestly, this what I say, it didn't come from internet. It didn't come from research. It just it comes from the feedback that I get from my incredible clients. The feedback that I get after they work with me, and how they feel internally after doing the work. And I have clients in very different stages. Some clients are quite style aware and they just want an expert opinion on how they can even further find their true selves and express themselves. Some haven't been before interested in finding their style and establishing a wardrobe that works for them. And now they finally came into conclusion that now it's time. Now they want to do it. So a huge variety of people, but what they always have in common is that after working together, after finishing the work, when I ask them for feedback, they say that the work we've done has such an incredible impact on all aspects of their life. They attract new opportunities. They get courage to start their own businesses and go their own way. They feel that they are worthy of something more. And it can be also things like they are worthy of having this amazing, beautiful house and really like feeling incredible every day. They just truly connect with something very beautiful inside them.
Beautiful. This is really good. And I want to tie it down. I was trying to remember the authors, but I'll put them in the show links because, of course, I can't remember them right now because I'm very excited. But this notion of tying into the you in a different frequency. So this notion we've talked about here before, that there can possibly be dimensions. We're talking now about the quantum field and stuff like that. So if the person you woke up as today wore item X, the opportunities and the mood and the perspective that they would have is somewhat tied to that, because the decision that crossed your mind and made you feel that this is what you want to wear, the feeling that you had inside, that you were carrying, maybe you had an argument with someone, let's say yesterday, and you slept through it in the night and you just woke up in that mind space, and so you're already waking up with a bit of a weight on your shoulders thinking, and because of that you look through your wardrobe, you find that dress that you don't really like yourself but it doesn't need ironing. So you pick it, you wear it, and then all day you're not really feeling yourself. So you just keep, because you don't really like the outfit yourself, you just keep straightening it out. You're self-conscious. And then whatever it is that you're self-conscious about is what draws people's attention to it, because maybe you just keep fidgeting with your dress because you didn't like something about it. There's a part of it that doesn't sit right, so you're always there. And then this makes people realize, you pull their eyes to whatever it is that you're fidgeting with, and then they start realizing that that outfit. And then you start thinking that people take you in a certain dimension, but the energy you're carrying within you that day is the energy of, I'm not worth making some effort on myself. And then the people around you get this dimension of, she's not worth putting too much energy into, because that's the energy you yourself are projecting. Yeah. So I love it when you say that.
I love how you summarize that. This is so beautiful.
Oh.
And honestly, yes, I agree so much. Whenever we, on the other hand, put the outfit that makes us feel like the best version of ourselves, every time we look into mirror, we are reminded about what we're capable of. And something that I always bring to people's attention is that this is such an easy way of changing your reality, because it doesn't require any long-term working on yourself. You just choose what truly empowers you and choose what truly defines who you want to be. And of course, you need to feel authentic and you feel comfortable. Comfort and authenticity are two very, very important aspects there.
Yeah.
But it's just, let's just like one takeaway from this question I wanted to be that it is really easy. It's very easy to achieve.
No, beautiful. And now I'll take you back on something you've just touched on, comfort and authenticity, because you've mentioned authenticity a couple of times. And so the question being, when I open the magazines, I just see people dressed in certain ways who don't look like me. A taller, shorter, fatter, thinner, never fatter. But in either case, there's always just this image that has been projected. And then maybe there are certain brands which are always there. These are the kind of brands that if you wear this, then you look good. How then do you bring authenticity into this space?
Very good question. And this is something that my clients, very often my clients tried before to through doing some research, through looking through Pinterest or Instagram, tried to do the work themselves, but they felt that this is not them. And I truly believe in the whole concept of getting inspired. I love getting inspired. I feel like even though when we do the work together with my clients, many of them are very like fashion interested, and they still want to like develop their style further. It's not, they just don't want to just stop where we are. But I feel like what you need to realize in the very, very beginning is really truly establish what is your personal style, regardless if you are hiring a stylist to do this or if you do it by yourself. Find your personal style. This is something we can talk about it. How I can guide you today, give you maybe some guiding questions, how you can start this journey, what it could be relevant for you to take into account when you are on the journey.
This is perfect, and we shall go there. But then what about the person who's listening and telling themselves, style is not just for me. This is not my area. I'm not an executive. I'm not a supermodel. I'm just Jane shopping in the supermarket. Why should she be interested in her style?
Because when she is interested in her style, she would love herself. She would look in the mirror and she would see the best expression of herself, the most beautiful Jane she can ever be. And she will, regardless if you have ambitions, like career ambitions, it's not about that. It's about how it affects all aspects of your life, how you project, how to project out there in the world. So I like it that you bring it, because honestly, I have so many different clients, and some of them are executives, some of them have some leadership positions, but some of them are moms of two, or women who just maybe lost themselves somewhere, maybe lost themselves through pandemics with the style, and they just need help. But maybe they don't really have that many super focused career goals, but still those women get so much from this work. So regardless of what your current focus is, I deeply encourage you to always think about what you put on, because then you will bring a completely different energy to any room you're in.
I absolutely love that. I love it so much. In my book, Date Like Cleopatra, the good girl flips the script. One of the center points is actually on self-love, and this notion of this is something you hear all the time. Of course, you love yourself, or maybe not, or you just don't have the energy to think about it. And I love this issue of appearance. I never used to, I'll be honest. I was Jane shopping in the supermarket, thinking that this is for other people. But then when I was doing my own inner work journey, I came to realize that it is not dressing for other people. It is not for them. What I wear is not based on trying to make other people like me more. I am not performing for them. No. This is absolutely about me. This is what makes me light up inside. Yes, and based on that, if I can find little small nuggets that will make me light up inside, and if this is such a big one, because it's so amazing what your appearance does to you, as you said, looking at yourself in the mirror and smiling back at what you see. Wow.
It is incredible. It is incredible indeed. Yeah.
Great. You told us that you could give us the steps. Didn't you say the steps on the things to consider when styling? Did I get that right?
Yes. Let's go through the steps on a high level. So first of all, when we come into the aspect of finding your personal style, we want to consider your preferences. What do you like? What do you dislike? You can do it based on your previous experiences with different garments, with different styles. Just really feel into it. You can go through and browse different style aesthetics and just understand what truly appeals to you, and not what you just like spontaneously see and like.
Exactly. I was going to ask a question for Jim.
Please do. Hi, Jane.
Jane, a friend, is asking, what if you don't know what appeals to you? You have never you've never set time aside to think you shop for the cheap things because they're on offer.
Yeah.
You like colors, but then you've never really sat down and thought, what is my style? What should she do?
So when you do it this journey by yourself, it is a little trial and error. But as I said, like, I truly believe of Googling and looking into what is there out there that appeals to you, that feels like you. And then you can create a Pinterest board. You can. I feel that there also, like, something that is very important here to consider is one aspect is what you like, what appeals to you. The other, what you dislike and what really doesn't appeal to you. And it doesn't mean that if you dislike something for yourself, and you can be still open for it, and you can still enjoy looking at it, and you can still feel like, okay, but this aesthetic is quite interesting, but maybe it's just not you. And this is something that is important to assess. An example here could be forms of different outfits. So we live with Shiro in Stockholm, where we have a huge influence of Scandinavian minimalism, playing with forms, a little bit masculine silhouettes. Now I'm talking to women as well, of course. While maybe this not is actually for everyone. And sometimes you can feel that you want to blend in. I don't personally think that there's anything wrong with blending in, as long as you're still keeping your authenticity, because of course our environment affects our style incredibly. It is given, actually. My clients, I have a couple of clients who moved to Spain after some time, and we refined their style after that a lot, because they got influenced by this beautiful Spanish vibe, and they go and sip mojitos often, on the beach. Then you need to have a special outfit, of course, for that. But I believe that, like, really realize what kind of forms appeal to you. Is it these oversized forms, or maybe you'd rather into fitted silhouettes? So that is important to really make research around.
Perfect. So when I moved to Stockholm, really, I had two friends having a conversation. One of them was Kenyan, and the other one was from South Africa. I'd invited them to my home. I was just newly moved in, and I was very happy. And being the happy person as I am, I was wearing a bright pink set of pants, flowery bright pink pants. And they were like, they high-fived each other, and they were laughing and saying, give this one a year or two, and soon she'll be dressing like the rest of us in black.
And how was that? Because today you had not pink,
I
but
know,
green pants.
Right. But it took me some time, and as you're saying, it was my authenticity, because it didn't feel very nice, because what they were telling me is that I'm not fitting in, and it made me ask myself, but then do I need to change me to fit in? And it went through a bit of a rough time, and then I told myself, I like bright colors. They will not chase me out of Stockholm for wearing bright colors, and they haven't since. So
no, I mean, oh God, I love it. I have plenty of women coming to me with international background, and bringing that into my attention and bringing that into our conversation. How might we establish a style that will be Sweden appropriate or another country appropriate, that will still keep her authenticity in the picture? So I believe we should never forget about our heritage, and always bring into your style, regardless where you are, what you truly like, what you truly feel authentic in. And then you might still want to incorporate some aspects. This is like how our life is affecting, of course. Maybe your work situation changes, then our style of course develops. And
no, true. Actually, you've reminded me that then after that, I think I traveled somewhere with another friend of mine, and then she pointed out that all my clothes are black and white.
So you fit in.
I actually did fit in, but so not all of them, but I had actually, even what I'm wearing today is black and white. So it turned out that I did manage to get a lot of items which were really Swedish without thinking about it. So it wasn't so much that I was telling myself I need to buy this because with this I will fit in. I just found something that I liked and said, let's take it. And soon enough, my wardrobe changed a little.
Yeah, and like, I mean, you are in a new environment, and maybe you went to a new store, and you were like, wow, I haven't seen that before.
Yeah.
But I actually like it,
Yes.
and it looks good on me. I feel good. I feel empowered.
Yeah.
This is how our style develops, you know.
Ah.
I had completely different wardrobe when I worked in Luxembourg. I had completely different wardrobe when I worked as a product manager in working very closely with software developers in Sweden.
Yeah.
It's
I had a completely different wardrobe when I'm a lawyer. I used to go to court. You can't wear bright green in court, so.
No.
Yeah, I like that. It depends on where you are, your stage in life, I guess, your work situation, what you're doing in a particular day.
Definitely, I like what you bring, the stage of life. Of course, I work a lot with freshly baked mamas, and it's very often that they bring as a problem or as a challenge for them that they feel like they lost their sense of style, and we go through, what they liked before, what kind of aesthetics they liked before. Very often it is that they actually, after getting the babies, they like something different. It's an entirely different thing, and they feel like they want to feel more serious. They want to keep their old self as well, but it's different forms they want, and it's not only steered by bodies. Honestly, many women, it's not about how their bodies look like. It's very often that they just want another style. They want other forms to express themselves, sort of.
Good. I like that you touched there. So we are back to Jane.
Back to Jane. Hello, Jane.
She says hi.
Right.
So Jane started her journey, as you said, that there are people who do it on their own. Why? Because it's also just this thought of, I mean, a personal stylist is for the movie stars. You might have that kind of idea. But either way, so she started off on the internet. And the internet told her 1,000 things about body shapes. Oh. There were tests and tests and tests to do. Oh. And each... They were so different. So they don't necessarily give you the same feedback. So how to figure that? What do you do with your body shape? How do you know? And is it true? I presume it's true that not all forms of clothing fit all body shapes. And then how do you know that this is the one for you? This is what to look for? Is there a place to go that gives us all the answers?
Honestly, no. No, because it's
sorry, Jane.
It's just so many different parameters to take into account. But something that I want to start this conversation with is that, and the question that I always ask my clients first is, what do you love about your body?
I love it.
This is the most important question. What do you love about your body? And then we also look into what kind of forms you enjoy wearing, more rather than what exactly fits your body. And we all look amazing. And of course, like sometimes I clients come to me and they're like, okay, my abdominal area is not my favorite one. And of course, we then incorporate things to mask them. It's perfect. And yeah, to some extent, I use the information on the internet. Of course, like I'm a stylist, but for like most of all, you always need to ask yourself, what do you love about yourself? What do you want to expose in your body? Do you like your breasts? And would you like some cleavage to show your boobies? Like really get into it. Like, don't be afraid of following some kind of frameworks. I have honestly, this is something that my clients really appreciate about them. And I had a client, a wonderful woman, recently, and she said to me that I am a triangle, and triangle, it means that she has a little more marked arms. But after that, she continued, but I love amplifying my arms even more. And I'm a part of different boardrooms. So of course I want to wear my blazers, and I thrive in my blazers. I'm like, Of course you do. That's why I don't believe in the body type analysis. And I've never, honestly, from the very beginning, since I started working with it, I've never posted any content like, "Oh, here are different body types." No, this doesn't work like that. In like 95% cases, there's nothing wrong with how you want to, whatever you want to wear, we can style basically. But then if there are like some parts, that you want to mask, then we work on that. And of course, like I'm a stylist, and I show you how to do it and how to incorporate that.
Yeah, beautiful. And if you find it difficult to daunting to consider one body part that you like, believe me, there's plenty. Whoever you are across the globe, human beings, you have, take your time, distress, breathe it out, look at yourself in the mirror, full length mirror, and just find one thing about yourself that you like. Could be your ankles, could be your wrists, could be your fingers, could be your smile, could be your hair, could be your shoulders, could be your elbows. One thing. Find one thing that you like, and that's a start. That's a start, because then you find we are so used to focusing on the things that we do not like. And that's where oftentimes that's where your eyes go to first if you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, this. But then consider your body as your friend. There's a friend of mine who told me that consider your body as your friend who is somehow enslaved to you. Because your body can't go anywhere. Your body is your body, and she's there to serve you. She's really happy to be there with you. And if the only thing you ever tell her is like, I hate X about you, that brings her down and brings you down. And then it makes your partnership in life tedious and heavy. Again, you just have the rain clouds on top of you. Tell her that I love our knees. And then she gets a little spark and she tells herself, look at that, our knees. Finally, we have some praise. She loves our knees. She loves our knees. And before you know it, you're just finding clothes that are amplifying your knees. And then if you do that, you find something else about yourself, small things. We are taking baby steps, one by one by one. And you don't have to, it doesn't, the challenge is not to 1,000% love everything about you. The challenge is to change the conversation that is in your head. If the conversation has always been no, 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 let us move more towards a brighter way of speaking to ourselves, because this is the body we're in for the rest of our lives. Let's enjoy it and let her shine. Yeah.
Yeah, and just to add on to that one, wearing the right fits and the right clothes for yourself can also help you love your body. So don't neglect wearing the clothes to amplify what you love about it, and try different things, like really play with it, because it can really help you with establishing a beautiful, wonderful relationship with yourself.
Lovely. One thing, when I was, there's a point in time when I was looking through the internet as well. So not Jane. Jane is the one who's doing things that she doesn't like. So when
All right.
this I liked, because I came across content that spoke about color. And I was fascinated because it was a YouTuber, and she was saying that if you have clothes in your wardrobe that you just don't wear and you can't figure out why, it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It could be that the color drains you. And I was mind blown. I had never heard of the concept of colors that look different based on your tone. There's something to say about that.
Absolutely. Yes, a color analysis is a concept within fashion that is has been highly popular during last decade, I'd say. And this is a process of establishing the colors that fit your complexion perfectly. And I definitely believe that everybody should at some point in time take their colors and do the color analysis, because it's a great tool. At the same time, I myself take a very holistic approach to colors. And besides establishing the colors based on your complexion, I look at the whole package. So basically, we also look at colors that you like, that colors that express you, that maybe some branding colors because you run your own business or you have some specific interests. So what kind of colors you are drawn to is also very important to consider on this journey. Just to give you an example, I have many clients who love black. And oftentimes, black might not be your perfect color. And instead of getting rid of black from your wardrobe, my recommendation is to find ways to style yourself with black. There are a couple of different reasons for it. Like, of course, also your preferences are very major reasons there. But also many items that are very interesting in forms are in black. So, and only in black. It's very often that if you go and buy ready to wear items, it's black is the most, it often is the most common color.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you should buy black. This is just as an example. I have a couple of clients who are like that. And for instance, some are still very open, and then we can implement other colors such as gray or navy blue. There are forms of colors, other colors that are quite similar to black. Brown is a wonderful dark base color that you can also look into in case you have warm complexion. So I definitely, summarizing this, I definitely recommend doing your color analysis, taking your colors with a stylist, but then also pick someone that has a pragmatic view on it, and that will truly understand what your needs are and that also will take into account your personal style. Because also, if we are looking into personal style and colors, some personal style aesthetics or some style aesthetics are not really that color happy. And that is fine if that's something that resonates with you. And then
what does that mean? It's not color happy.
There aren't that many that's basically you just base them most on the base colors, not that many accenting. Maybe you have some color accents, but not that many. You don't implement that many colors. And I have many clients who actually really like those aesthetics. They like neutrals. And it's perfect. There are plenty different aesthetics that's just resonate with neutrals. But then you may on the other hand, maybe then on the other hand you like colors, then something else would resonate with you. So just implement. I would just last thing, take into account your personal style when establishing your color palette.
Good. And then the question, because the other thing that I learned from the internet from that girl, I don't remember her name, I lost her, but she was I quite liked the concept, was that and you'll tell me if you agree. She said that anyone can wear any color, but you need to find the right shade for you. That it's not so much the color itself, but how the shade of that goes with your complexion.
Yes. Yeah. That is very true. Exactly. And again, anyone can wear any color. I have clients who are soft types, which means that muted, less saturated colors are best for them, but still they love expressing themselves.
Help us. What a less saturated.
All right.
Take this as fashion for dummies. Yeah. You're not dummies, but
very quickly. Very quickly. Let's talk about 3 dimensions of colors. So it is to start with, it's a temperature. So are warmer tones better for you or cooler tones? The second one is saturation. So clearer colors like Shiro's beautiful pants today, better for you, or more milder colors, or more colors that have more scale of gray. And then last but not least, we have also brightness. So are darker colors better for you or lighter pastel colors better for you? So this is these are different dimensions. These are the properties of colors that we can look into. However, again, back to this this statement. Definitely, this is it is very true. However, it can be that you resonate with very saturated colors, very strong colors like your pants. But according to your color analysis, you are more fitted in the softer tones, in the more muted tones. But those muted tones may feel like they just don't express your personality.
Yeah.
It happened to me. And honestly,
Oh.
fashion needs to be, it's expressing.
Yes.
We need to express ourselves.
Yes.
So it doesn't happen very often, honestly. Many, the absolute majority of my clients, they resonate with the colors that are aligned with their natural properties.
Totally.
But it's again, fashion is expression. Our style is to express ourselves and to really show off who we truly are.
Really, really, really good. I love this conversation. This is fun, yeah. A question here. You've talked about, I can't remember how you put it, though I liked it. Something about the mama age, the mama stage, baked mama. I can't remember what you said, but you're mentioning that people sometimes, women can lose their style after giving birth and maybe trying to recreate it. So then a question in the same line on something that can make you lose your style. And I don't know if this is how to phrase it. I'll tell you the story. I was listening to some people talk, and the conversation was about how after marriage, after a couple of years, then maybe the woman doesn't feel like taking care of herself as much. Why? She's bagged the guy. Why bother then? You're comfortable. And maybe you've had a couple of children, you're comfortable, you're at home.
Yeah.
Well, why? What's your input on that? Is it still necessary to look into style?
Yeah, my short answer is yes, it is. And your clothes not only affect how you are seen professionally, but also how both you perceive yourself, but also how your partner perceives you at home. I believe that it's very important for the turn in your relationship, for how you both find each other attractive, how good sex life you have, how you feel. And it's all, again, comes to how you feel about yourself. And you may not notice that it actually have impact, but try to, for a couple of days, try to refine your style and try to feel this sexiness. Put some comfortable but still more sexy underwear and see how you feel about yourself, and see what kind of energy you bring out there to your relationship. I can assure you that there's a big change happening there.
Lovely. I love it. I listened to this lady on YouTube. She's highly entertaining. She speaks in French, but part of what she talks about is just that. She gives like relationship advice, and part of what she says is, you've been home, you're so excited your husband is coming back. So she speaks from an African context. So you've been making this huge meal, so you've been cutting onions and doing the garlic, and you're dressed there in your little, in Kenya we'd call it a kanga. Kanga, it's like what's a kanga? It's like I don't know how to explain it. It's just something, a cloth you tie around yourself. Yes, because you're so busy, you're not interested so much in how you're looking, but you're doing the housework. You've kept the house clean. You've done, the house is pristine. The food smells amazing, but you look like a sack of potatoes. And she was saying, that's not attractive. He's been working all day, and you are really the prize of his home. Not all these other things that are there. You are the prize. So if you have been sweating in all your cooking, and it's not that you're doing it so much for. Actually, that's her point. Her point was that you were doing all these other things for him. You thought that he wanted to come home to a clean home and to good food, and maybe he does. But you are the jewel of his home. 100%. So take care of yourself. Yeah.
100%. And men really appreciate when you take care of yourself, obviously. And you're not doing it for him, you're doing it for yourself. Because when you feel sexy, then he sees you sexy, then you can feel his masculine energy in the air, his testosterone bubbling in. And yeah, the rest is history.
I love it. So what do we tell the single girls? So same question, because now it's that there's no one else living at home, and it's just that, yeah, exactly. And it's just like wearing those pants that you would not be caught dead in, as in. And then I actually have a story before I ask you the question. I heard the story of an incident. So this was in Kenya. There was a security incident in the middle of the night. So then everyone ran out because it might have been a fire, it might have been something. So you just ran out of the home dressed in how you are because you don't know if there's danger, what's going on. And then the people were gathered outside. And then there's this guy who was looking at this lady, and he came to her, and he thought that she was the security, the watchman, because she was dressed in such unseemly clothes. As in, it was just like a, a sack. And I don't know how else to put it, but it just looked like, first of all, the thing on her head, the layers and layers and layers of clothes behind. And then she was thinking, he was just surprised and said, "Oh, it's you." Because outside she looks fantastic, but here in an emergency, she looks like, oh my God, this doesn't look like anyone I know. Yeah.
Oh, no, and I mean, oh, it's again back to like how we feel about ourselves.
Yep.
It's 100% how, and it is really important to put the best clothes on when you are home by yourself. It needs to be comfortable. Again, like you in at home, we really want to embrace comfort to a next level. Maybe it's a cashmere set or just a nice linen set, but it really will make you feel so much better when resting, when taking it easy. And honestly, it was just this week actually I got a message from a client of mine that just thanked me for the work we've done together. We focused on her professional wardrobe when we were working in the beginning of the year, and she said that she loves the clothes, she really thrives in them. And then she said that, well, I really didn't realize that the impact will be that big. Now I want to make the change for all aspects of my life, and I want to feel amazing in all aspects of my life. So yeah, again, this is just a proof that we do it for ourselves. We do it to feel our best selves, and we do it to unleash all possible opportunities, possibilities out there. So yeah.
Yeah. No. Now I'll tell you my stories. I'll tell you my story because I was that. I was Jane. I know no one knew, but I was Jane. And in terms of sitting at home, it would be like that old T-shirt that's, you know, I wouldn't otherwise wear, because why? I'm just at home. It's just me, just me. And then I was going through some inner work or doing a course, and it said that if you're trying to attract your dream partner, you need to change and be at home how you would be when you're with him. And then because of that is when I decided, oh, then I need to upgrade my wardrobe, but then my wardrobe for the home. But then later I thought about it and I asked myself, why does this guy who doesn't presently exist in this house get to have the better version of me? Why isn't the better version of me for myself? And then that it changed my mindset, and it became, I want to feel good and look good when I'm at home. And there's no problem with that. Sometimes part of my mindset was it's selfish. You're doing too much. You're being vain. That's the word I was looking for. You're being vain. Why would you go out of your way to have the best around you and it's just you? No, I'm important. You're important. No. We can't just be living our lives for other people. We need to put ourselves at the center of our lives. And that's what we talk about in Date Like Cleopatra. How to be important to ourselves. Because if you have come from the good girl paradigm, you've always been taught that you're not important. Other people are important. You take last place. You don't matter. So this is another way of reclaiming yourself in the center of your life. It's your life. It's your life. You can wear nice things when you're at home. You're not going anywhere. You can wear makeup. I was honestly one of those people during the pandemic, and not for any reason other than the fact that I wanted to. I'd be fully dressed, I'd have my makeup on, I'd wear perfume. And initially I told myself, but the perfume will end, as in it's other people who'll smell it. I'm like, but that doesn't matter. We'll buy more.
Of course. And when the clothes were off, well, you recycle them. You can always repair them, but like, yeah, if they're just were off, you basically you recycle them and you buy yourself new clothes. And I would take it even further and talking about trying to dress sexy for yourself at home. and playing with it and going to mirror and looking at you and feeling the little roar. Like, I feel like it's such a beautiful, wonderful practice, and this is a great time when you are single, when you live by yourself. Maybe you are in a relationship, but especially when there's no one around that often, and you are with yourself, try to really be the sexy person for yourself and play with your sexuality, play with your sensuality. Maybe you want to touch yourself when you look into mirror. Maybe you want to put a nice music on. Maybe you want to put a nice fragrance on yourself, or just have a nice fragrance around and light up a very good quality candle and have this like sensual evening with yourself, and feel and really truly play with your own sensuality, with your sexuality. And just that is, in my opinion, a great practice for building love with yourself, with your amazing self.
I absolutely love it. You've said it, and then I'll quote the book Pussy, a Reclamation by Regena. I can never pronounce her second name. I'll put it down in the I'll put it in the notes. And she talks about pleasure. She named the book specifically that way because she says that the word pussy has been hijacked to be made something terrible and dirty. And she says that women, we all have the vulva, and we need to stop looking at it as something that's terrible. We've been trained to start thinking of our own sexuality as something evil, something done in the dark behind closed doors. And I love what you said, because she said that accessing your own pleasure is the gateway to like everything. That that once you understand how to be in touch with your senses and access your own pleasure, then that really just opens up the door to anything that you want. I love it.
Absolutely. I love what you said. Gateway to everything. It's a gateway to success. It's a gateway to great relationship, not only romantic, but like all types of relationship, because this is our core. This is where we this is the best, the most important chakra for us, where everything begins. So yeah, love it.
No, I love it. And I just want just one more point on this. Now, I love books. So I'm always quoting authors. This is from Think and Grow Rich. What he says, he does mention this. He talks about Rich, I forget his name.
Napoleon Hill.
Napoleon Hill, yes. When I'm talking somewhere, the names just disappear. So Napoleon Hill talks about successful people, successful men, and he puts a little note, a little nugget in his book, and he mentions how a lot of these men who are successful, or who were successful in the time that he was writing, were highly sexual. I don't know how else to put it. How he knew, I don't know. But
and use their sexual energy in order to reach their goals.
Absolutely.
And how they could get turned on by women in order to reach their goals. And that's why smart men still go that way. And honestly, I feel like we women haven't been realizing what kind of power we have over men and sexuality. Only today I've watched a short reel, which was like a fraction of a podcast by Stephen Bartlett, where they said that two most happy people are single women and married men. And it's very interesting. I definitely am 100% sure it's not a rule of thumb, but it's just like statistically speaking, you can still have a wonderful, fantastic man. And men who listen to this podcast, I love men. I really love men.
I love men too.
And however, we women, we are able to activate our sexual energy in an incredible way, to activate our creativity, to activate our productivity, to feel more confident. Of course, the man also plays a role in that. It's not that we can't do that by ourselves. Let's just be honest with ourselves. We can do that by ourselves, just playing with our sensuality. But of course, it's amazing when there's men engaged in this whole process.
Yes. And life force energy. Your life force energy. Think of it this way: that the woman's ability to bring life from presumably nowhere. You have the capacity to tap into the non-existent. So I'll take it a step further. Eckhart Tolle talks about the unmanifested. So he talks about like a realm of like this black space in the universe where there's just stuff that's not been manifested yet. And manifestation is just calling to life, creating. So as women, we have direct access to that pool to call in whatever it is that we want. So yes, it could be babies, but it could be anything else. So that's why we're saying that through this life force energy, you can create abundance. You can create whatever it is that you want,
Absolutely.
but believing that you have it and believing that you are powerful, you are beautiful, you are it.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Mm.
Emily Fletcher talks a lot about how we are able to manifest things in our life through playing with ourselves, through masturbation. It's I think it's an amazing topic. It's a big topic.
Yes.
and well, how can that connect to style? Because
Yes.
we are talking about style. Well, I definitely encourage you to go through your lingerie and leave there in this space only items that truly makes you feel amazing, that you really love. Don't wear underwear that doesn't feel good on you. It's just not worth it. And when you do that, after you do that, see how your life reveals.
Ooh. It will be obvious. It should be obvious, but we'll mention the torn ones. The, the ones that you've had for X number of years. The one, and then you'll say maybe, oh, but it was so cute. I can't find any other like it. It's not cute anymore. Just allow yourself to do this for you. Yes. Yeah. Oh, I think we've gone through the questions that I had. Do you have some tips, some final just tips, some final things that you can tell us from your own experience, your own journey?
Yes. So my tip or my last takeaway, something to finish this would be see your style as something that evolves. In the very beginning, when you are on the journey and when you haven't thought about it before, like Jane, it can require some more investment and just some more structure to identify your preferences, go through and think through your lifestyle, because lifestyle is also very important when you define your personal style. When you define your colors, the fits that you like, when you declutter your wardrobe from the old things, it can be a little time investment from that perspective. But also start by playing with it and really embracing it for yourself. Don't think that, oh, this is not. Think about how you can incorporate different new things as well. Get inspired by trends. I'm definitely not a trend-led stylist entirely. Even though I love trends, I get inspired by trends. And think about how you may incorporate that. Also, another thing to consider is think about style balancing, how you can incorporate different styles and different forms into your look in order to create interest from that angle. So style is how you express yourself. So go out there and play.
Love it, love it. I have one question actually. It's something that you've brought up. Jane doesn't feel like she can afford a whole new wardrobe. Is there hope for her?
Absolutely, Jane. There's a lot of hope for you. First of all, I would encourage you to go and buy stuff secondhand, because we often overlook what beautiful items you can find secondhand, and it's great for the environment. And when you find that something that is very unique, that is just one, you will also feel a different connection with it. So I definitely encourage to look into that.
Lovely. And something you've said that has also made me think is decluttering. Decluttering your wardrobe, it's truly something that you should consider doing at the very least once a year.
Yes.
Take your wardrobe, anything you haven't worn in the past year, regardless of if it is the most beautiful thing you own, regardless if you're going to gain weight and fit into it again, lose weight and fit into it again. Just there's someone outside there who'd be happy to use it, and it 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 creates room for more things. Giving you sometimes you can't access a new style because you're holding on to what you had. They said that the closed fist can't receive. So remove, just let them go. The things that you haven't been using, make it a habit. Make it a habit of decluttering your wardrobe, decluttering your home, just going through things that you're not using anymore, and you're creating like an energetic space for more to come in. Yeah,
I love this. I completely love it. And while going through it, ask yourself, maybe there is a way, maybe the reason that I haven't been wearing it is because I don't know how to style it. And then you can find some inspiration, or or have a session with a stylist, or have a session with a friend to help you style it, and take this session to find how you could restyle these items.
I love it. I love it. I love it. It has been so amazing having you here. Please let our people know how they can reach you if they want to think about styling and contact you for business, become one of your clients, or just find out what you do and where you are.
Thank you for having me, Shiro. And thank you so much for listening. So if you would like to get in touch with me, you can either find me on Instagram. It's aleksandranaglik.stylist, Alexandra with KS, like my first name. You can connect with me on LinkedIn as well, and you can check out my website if you need any styling help anytime. It's aleksandranaglik.com.
Perfect. We will, of course, put it down in the notes. And thank you so much. We appreciate you. You're such beautiful energy. You're just really great to be around. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. Thank you, good people. And thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments, and you can write to me, info@shirondune.com. You can write to her directly, or write to me. I don't know. They can write to you.
Absolutely. I love getting DMs. I love getting emails. So please, I always reply.
Yeah, perfect. Good. So until next time, thank you very much, everybody.